on, guys? Rose Buffalo Bob, and I am just about 24 hours away. And by the way, it's March 22nd, 2024. I am about 24 hours away until my buddy Rob Hazou drives over the Hudson River from New Jersey to Long Island tomorrow morning. So we're going to be spending the next 2 days together on the weekend, and it's going to be a fun time. Now, in my previous video, I mentioned that Rob Hazou and I are going to the Islanders-Devils game on Sunday, March 24th, and it's going to be a pretty fun weekend overall. So another reason why he's coming here is not only just to see me, but we're doing it for his sentimental reasons. For me, I have no sentimental reasoning for it, but I'm doing it because it's for him. So Rob Hazou and I decided to buy tickets to go to the old Nassau Coliseum on Saturday night to watch Lacrosse. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Lacrosse, a Road to 32 Lacrosse episode. The only Lacrosse video that you're ever going to see. I don't care if it's the Bandits. I don't care if it's the Toronto Rock. I don't care if it's the New York Riptide. I don't care who it is. This is the only one you'll ever see because I don't know anything about lacrosse. And I'm not being ignorant because there's nobody I can think of personally on this level, and by level I mean in Long Island or anywhere outside of it, that watches lacrosse, except for my buddies up in Buffalo, like my friend Trevor and Tom. All those guys, they watch lacrosse. They're lacrosse fans in general. So I want to throw that out there real quick. So we're going to the old Coliseum tomorrow night to watch the New York Riptide take on the Saskatchewan Rush. Now, I have no idea about anybody. I don't know anything about the rules. I don't know anything about the players. Nothing. But it's my first ever and probably only lacrosse game I've ever gone to in my life. And the reason we're doing a New York Riptide game this weekend is because Rob watches lacrosse. He's a Riptide fan. But I found out about a month or two ago that they are going to be leaving the Nassau Coliseum. They're going to be leaving Long Island in general, and they're going to be packing their bags, and they're going to end up relocating to Ottawa, Ontario next year to become the Ottawa Black Bears. Now, again, I wish the Riptide all the best. Thank you for your support here in Long Island. And this is the only game I've ever gone to in my life. At this point, I have no gear. I have nothing to show for. I'm going to go as a spectator, and yeah, Rob is just like, oh, I hope they have souvenirs there, or I hope they have merchandise there. And I said, I'm pretty sure they do, but you never know with these things. So as of now, the Riptide are the only New York team outside of Buffalo that has a professional lacrosse team. Do I see them expanding or coming back to New York? Yeah, but I don't really know anything about that for sure. But I think it would be a pretty interesting idea. But if they would have to put them in either at UBS Arena or Madison Square Garden, or even in New Jersey where the Devils play at the Prudential Center, I don't even know what they're going to do. But either way, I'm getting off track. So generally, this is the only lacrosse game that I'm ever going to be participating in my life. I don't know what to expect, but I'm doing it for Rob. But the nice thing about all this is I'm going to get a chance, at least for me, one last time potentially, to go to the Nassau Coliseum and do a Road to 32 episode. And the only one you'll ever see, unfortunately. Now, if this was like 5 years ago when I did Road to 32, there would be a playoff game that I went to in 2019, but against the Penguins. But either way, the Coliseum holds a special place in my heart because I've been going there for so long. And of course, the Islanders moved to Brooklyn almost a decade ago, and then they came back, and then they have their new arena in Elmont, which is UBS Arena, and then they're going to be hosting the All-Star game there in 2 years. So in general, there's a lot of excitement around UBS Arena, so it's very, very exciting. And the Coliseum, unfortunately, does not have much left. It's in hospice care, and the only reason they're still there is because the Riptide are there until the end of the summer, and the Long Island Nets, which is the ABA affiliate for the Brooklyn Nets basketball team. And that's another sport I know dick about. So you'll never see a Road to 32 basketball episode, so don't ask me. As far as lacrosse, this is for Rob. He wanted to see a Riptide game before they move. And, you know, I want to go there to see the Coliseum one last time. Again, it holds a special place in my heart, and I really, really want to enjoy the moment. So I guess with that, we'll find out tomorrow morning what happens, and we'll go from there. So with that, let's see what happens tomorrow. Okay, so it is Saturday, March 23rd, and it is 9:11 a.m. in the morning, and I'm waiting for Rob to come in from New Jersey to see me, and we're going to have a good weekend overall. So we're going to head out of the house around like 5:30, 6 o'clock to go to the New York Riptide game tonight. But first, he's got to get here, and then from there, we're going to find other things to do in between. So with that, I'll just wait for Rob, and we're all set, ready to go. Well, well, look who we find.
Hello.
It's Mr. Rob Hazou. How you doing, brother?
Doing well.
Good. How was the drive today?
Other than really wet, not bad.
Not bad at all. So what do you got there?
We got the classic Canadian poutine and the hot dog with a lot of mustard on it.
Yeah, and then I also got ketchup mixed in with hot sauce. So if you want to try that, you can. But in the meantime, why don't you give it a roll and see how it is?
Let's do it.
So you've been looking forward to this for a little while, as I told you about it.
Get more fries in there.
It's a little messy, I know.
There we go. Okay.
How is it?
Pretty good.
It's good? But either way, welcome back to Long Island.
Thank you.
As always. For me, I got the same thing, but it's just a chili dog. Really big difference. With lunch being over, Rob and I took a ride over to the Nassau Coliseum to see our first ever live lacrosse game. So, how you feeling?
Feeling great.
Yeah, I know it's crappy out, but you know what? We're gonna go to the Nassau Coliseum now for
New York Riptide.
the New York Riptide lacrosse team. So it's exciting to see the old Coliseum and play again. I'm really excited, and yeah, I can't wait to be here again. It's gonna be fun. Here we are, guys. The Nassau Coliseum, home of the New York Riptide and home of the Long Island Nets. So we are going inside tonight. It is very cold and windy and raining hard, as Rob and I are going to a Riptides game tonight.
Probably our one and only before they relocate.
Yep, and it seems like we're gonna try to get inside and get some stuff going, and let's enjoy the only lacrosse game I'm ever gonna be able to go to. So with that, let's do it. I stand corrected. We got there an hour early, and guess what was being played? A home show. Literally, a goddamn home show. But you know what? We went anyway because we wanted to kill some time. But then, something extraordinary happened. Thank God for that shit show being over. Remember how I said a little while back, how I said something extraordinary happened? Watch this. So we just came out of the home show because we were waiting for the clock to wind down. Look what we ended up finding at practice. 2 fucking game-used lacrosse balls. That is awesome.
This is amazing. We were just watching the
home show.
Yeah, and then we noticed one of the doors was open, and the Rush were practicing, and lo and behold, we found 2 lacrosse balls that found their way over the netting.
One's my left nut, one's my right nut.
And I'm holding them, oh God.
Yeah, so we're going to get out of here with this wind and put them away, and we're going to go inside for the game. Woo! Let's go. So we just went back to the car to put the 2 balls away, and now we're re-entering the Nassau Coliseum, and we're on our way to the Riptide game. And you wonder why nobody went to a Riptide game? 2 words: poor marketing. Rob and I estimately counted 1,600 people at the Nassau Coliseum, and it was a Saturday. That's pretty sad. We were legit at the point of please come to our games territory. Click disclaimer, if you hear me talk more than you do hear the music, it's because I don't feel like getting hit with a copyright strike by YouTube by any means, so I'm talking over because to fill up that void. But I also want to mention that this actually happens throughout the beginning and the end of the game. From point A to point B, it's just blasted PR music. It's insane and dumb and desperate, and they don't even fill a 300 level seating, as you can see in the warm-ups. Hey Rob, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
See the boards over there? If you look closely at it, it says tickets are starting at just $22. This is a way of saying, please come to our games.
Yeah, we're 50 minutes away from game time.
And you wonder why nobody's going to Riptide games? Look around you. There's not even a second or third floor. The desperation, and I mean the desperation for people to come to their games is so bad in terms of marketing. I mean, the crowd level was so horrible that because they knew that they had to fill up the noise by blasting music all across the game. And on top of all that, the PA guy had to be the one to entertain the fans, including us. It was just sad and depressing, and you wonder why the Riptide are leaving soon.
Jersey that you can see from outer space. Not the Rush we know with Neil Peart and Geddy Lee. This is Saskatchewan Rush. And now, the New York Riptide have elected to introduce their team. So get on your feet, put your hands together.
Here we go. And the face-off goes to the Riptide.
New York Philly, bench minor, 2 minutes, illegal substitution.
You know it's piss poor when there's at least 1,300 people at a professional lacrosse game in Long Island. Not because it's the Nassau Coliseum. That's not the issue. The issue is the marketing. I mean, nobody even knew the Riptide were playing today. I didn't because I don't see enough of them, and I live here for God's sake. And considering this, they're moving to Ottawa in the summer. And it figures and it shows, and you're looking at it with why they're moving. The marketing is so piss poor. It's really fucking annoying because the PA guy had to be the one to carry this whole game from beginning to end. And not to mention, copyright music was being blasted, and that's why you're hearing me talk more frequently in this episode than any other ones I've done in the past for Road to 32. But ultimately, I did this for Rob because I'm a nice guy. The biggest X factor about the game took place after the game was over. So what happened was Rob and I, prior to opening face-off, we bought a bag of 10 rubber balls, which had 3-digit numbers on there. So for example, the Riptide ball you saw I had in my hand, it was black. It had 3 numbers on it. It said 6, 7, 8 on there. That was a winning number. So what happened was we threw 9 of them onto the board, and me and Rob kept 1 as a souvenir. But we threw them onto the field. That's what we were told to do. And once you did that, if you hit the bucket that's closest to the midfield range area, you would get 4 free tickets to their last home game coming up on April 20th against the Albany Firewolves. And I just thought that was appropriate, considering this is the please come to our games market. So after a fierce competitive battle, both teams have come to a mutual respect for one another. They shake hands and they move on to the next week, and the Riptide give a salute to their fans. Guess who just won a set of 4 tickets to the last Riptide home game on April 20th? Rob. So, we are now walking out of the Nassau Coliseum as the New York Riptide defeat the Saskatchewan Rush 14-11. Did you have a good time?
A wonderful time.
I'm sure of that.
I wish I could have done this again, but yeah, it's our last season here, so
That's unfortunate, but you know what? I kept one of the balls. As you can see, this was actually a ball that we actually had to throw onto the field after the game, and it was going to be a contest for, what was it, jersey and
4 tickets, which I would assume is for the last home game, and then a swag bag.
Okay.
I nearly won the bucket toss. Not because I almost got it in, but it was almost the closest to the bucket.
Well, we'll find out in a couple
Me and another ball.
You and another
Me
ball.
and another ball that were side by side, pretty much.
It was like you and 5 other balls that you ended up getting. But Either way, we're going to find out if Rob won.
It makes up for that blunder throw before that last ball.
Yeah. So it is freezing out here. We're going to get the fuck out of here, and then we're going to plan on for the next day, which is the Islander game. So with that, we'll talk to you when we get back home. Bye, Nassau Coliseum. Thank you for the memories. Love you. With that being said, we move on to part 2 of this weekend's journey. The Islanders-Devils game that takes place on March 24th, Sunday afternoon.